In North America, this stuff is called candy. Where I'm from in the UK, it's called sweets. Everyone in the world seems to have a different name for the stuff, but we all know it's sweet, it's kind of bad for you, kids love it, and sometimes companies stop making certain types of it. This makes everyone sad and turns us all into little kids who have just had our chocolate bars taken away. Let's talk about the top 10 discontinued candy we all miss. Coming in at number 10 now, we have the Wonka Bar. There are two types of chocolate Wonka Bar, the fictional one from the famous Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory movie, and a real one that first appeared in the 70s inspired by the fictional one. The Wonka Bar would never obviously live up to how amazing the fictional one apparently tasted, but it gained quite a cult following. Then in 2005, some Wonka Bars were packaged with an actual golden ticket, just like in the movies. Now this was to promote the new adaptation with Johnny Depp, but unfortunately the prize was a tour of Nestle's factory and not Willy Wonka's, shattering kids' dreams everywhere. Perhaps that's why sales started to shrink and the Wonka Bar was finally discontinued in 2010. Alright, next up at number 9 we have Gatorgum. Many of you guys will have heard of Gatorade, the drink, but were you aware they also used to make gum? Gatorgum was marketed as the gum for active people and it promised to quench people's thirst. Gatorade fans loved it, finally they had something to chew on when they weren't drinking Gatorade. It came in lemon lime and orange flavour and was around during the late 80s and early 90s. Now the problem was, when people get thirsty, they usually reach for a glass of something, a liquid, not a piece of gum. That's a shame, because Gatorgum is a great name. Coming in at number 8 now, we have Bar None. Bar None was released in 1987, described as a cocoa wafer with chocolate filling and a peanut and milk chocolate coating. Now I wasn't around then, so I never got to try this, but it sounds amazing. Many other people thought so too at the time because Bar None took off across America. And then in 1992, Hershey's made a big mistake. They changed the formula. If there's one thing chocolate bar lovers can't stand, it's when people mess with the formula. It was split into two different sticks, caramel was added, and the iconic wrapper was redesigned. Fans of the old bar said this was the main reason the Bar None became Bar Non-existent by 1997. Coming in at number 7 now, we have Shark Bites. They were small gummy candies in the shape of a shark, combining two things that all kids love, sugar and dangerous animals. Although I have heard that sharks aren't as bad as the movies have made out, but still, they came in different colours, in red, orange, yellow, purple and white, each one corresponding to a different flavour. Weirdly, the yellow shark tasted like strawberry. There's a sentence I didn't think I would ever say in my life. They were a go-to snack for kids in the 90s, but largely faded out during the new millennium. Now I did find a few articles saying that they had come back in a few stores in America and could also be bought online, but until they really bite back into the market, they're going to keep their spot on this list. Alright, next up at number 6 now, we have Astro Pops. These were launched in 1963 as cone-shaped lollipops supposed to resemble a space rocket. Now I'm not saying that making these was rocket science, but the creators were actual rocket scientists. I'm not making this up. They quit their rocket science job to make the Astro Pops and based its 3-color design on the 3 stages of a rocket launch. They came out during a time when the world was space travel obsessed. They came in cherry, passion fruit and pineapple flavour, and later on there was even a banana split and caramel apple flavour. But in 1997 they were actually sued by parents who said their son was injured by the stick of an Astro Pop. The design was then changed and Astro Pop never really got off the launch pad again after that. Sales declined and it was sadly discontinued in 2004. Coming in at number 5 now, we have the Nestle Quik Bar. Nesquik is still one of the most popular breakfast cereals in the world. They dominated the home milkshake market too. They were in kitchen cupboards everywhere in the 90s and Nestle managed to make the leap from breakfast to lunch with a Quik Bar. It was basically chewy chocolate taffy, very soft and tasted like a cross between chocolate and the Nesquik flavour everyone knew. They were eventually discontinued and these days Nestle only make Nesquik bars, which are nothing like Quik Bars, so don't let that cute rabbit fool you. Alright, moving on to number 4 now, we have the Charleston Chew. In 1925, the Charleston dance was all the rage. People couldn't get enough of it, and some clever chocolate makers jumped on the dance wagon and made the Charleston Chew bar. The dance eventually faded out of fashion, but the bar kept growing in popularity. It became a chocolate-covered vanilla taffy bar. Then, in the 1970s, new flavours were brought out, such as strawberry and banana. Now, I've heard the bar does still exist in a few places over 90 years since its invention, but you'd be hard-pressed to find it these days in your local store, and would probably have to order it online. Next up at number 3 now, we have the Desert Bar. This Hershey's chocolate bar was made in the late 1980s, but not for kids. It was made specifically for soldiers. Hershey's made it for the US Army. It was a chocolate bar that could withstand heat up to 140 degrees Fahrenheit or about 60 degrees Celsius without melting at all. 144,000 bars were shipped out to soldiers during the First Gulf War. When the war ended, Hershey's decided to sell their remaining stock to customers back in the US. They gained a pretty big cult following, but when the supply did eventually run out, Hershey's didn't make any more, and chocolate bar lovers had to return to the very normal kind that melt in your pocket. Boring. Alright, we're at the number 2 spot now, and we have Jumbo Nerds. A lot of you guys watching are big fans of Nerds candy. We've talked about the Nerds candy cereal in our discontinued cereal video, and we're not done talking about the thin fruit flavored candy rock bits just yet. Whew, that sentence. Their appeal has often been in their handy little size, and Jumbo Nerds were exactly the same but bigger. You'd think that just changing the size of some candy wouldn't make it a success, but people started to think, why would I eat normal Nerds when I can eat Jumbo Nerds? They're bigger. In the end though, it seemed that people felt like Nerds were getting a bit too big for their boots and the product was discontinued. Finally now, at number 1 we have the PB Max. The PB stood for peanut butter, and to be honest with you guys, if I could bring back one discontinued item in the whole world, it might be this. Launched by Mars in 1989, PB Max were bars made out of creamy peanut butter and oats, all placed on a whole grain cookie and smothered in rich milk chocolate. Sorry. Now the label suggested you only ever eat 1 piece per serving, but that was never gonna happen. The only way you could stop me from having 10 pieces at once would be if I choked on it. Yeah, I have a bit of a problem with peanut butter. But it seems like a lot of other people did too, as this little bar racked up a whopping $50 million in sales before being discontinued because, wait for it, the Mars family who made the bar didn't like peanut butter. Disgusting. Discontinued this, discontinued that, discontinued snacks all day, every day. We've done discontinued food in general now, we've done cereal, we've done drinks, and now candy. What other discontinued thing should we talk about next on this channel? We've made all of these based on your suggestions, so make yourself heard down below. My name is Danny Burke, I'll be down there in the comments with you to hear all of your ideas, and I'll see you in the next video.